Okay, this is port 11. So we georeferenced a map here. So now let's do a couple of things. First of all, what I want to do is I think I want to export this trail. So I've got a trail down here on a Google map. Of course, this is only going to be useful if I can take this trail along with me. So in order to do that, I'm gonna use a small utility called Google Map to GPX. GPX is your universal exchange format. It's an XML format that it's basically a text format that will allow you to describe trails and what we call those markers that where we saw. I mean, those markers, those balloons are called waypoints in terminology. So if you go to this thing here, there's a website, and you put a bookmark in your browser. So I'm gonna show my bookmarks here. I've put it here as a bookmark. So if I'm at my Google map with all my trails as well as my waypoints, all these points are called waypoints. Basically, they show you the way. So if I'm clicking on this website, click, it's gonna convert all these trails and all these waymarks to a KML file. A KML file is also it's actually a Google Earth file. This is the file that will be used in Google Earth. So I'm gonna save this because I will take a look at this trail in Google Earth in a second. So let me save it here. But before I go to Google Earth, which is like a little advanced, let me convert this now into a plain text file. So I'm gonna use an interesting website called gpsvisualizer.com. This is a very nice site. This will allow you to convert many formats to convert between many formats. So what I can do here, for example, is I can open this KML file, this Google file, and one thing I could do is I could convert it back to a Google Map file. Let me just do that to validate whether this file was created successfully. So when I put this same trail again back, see, you get exactly the same trail. So whatever that file was in that file was correct. So now let me export this to this standard format, the GPX format. So GPX is your kind of standard format that will be supported by all programs, all GPS devices. So if I save this file now and take a look inside, it's a text file. Then you will quickly understand how it encodes all these trails and waypoints. So let me open this text file. It's an XML file for the techies under us. Not Internet Explorer. That was a bad thing. Let me go to WordPad. Okay, you can see it's basically a text file. Okay, so just skip the header for a moment. So there are two elements in this. You will have what we call a waypoint. So you'll see several points, and you will also have what we call tracks. Tracks are the lines we have drawn. So first, let's take a look at the waypoint. Remember, there was something called the shed near Talakona. So every waypoint will be given a name. We're giving some weird location here. Okay, this is actually the bitmap that we use, that shed symbol, not shit symbol. So for every point that we have indicated, we'll have exactly the same coordinate. I mean, we'll have the exact latitude and longitude. In this case, we don't have degrees, minutes, seconds. Typically, many programs also use decimal degrees. So in this case, you'll have 13.2222 degrees. So you can convert this to minutes and seconds also if you want. So all the points which I indicated on my Google map, I've extracted from the map and I've put in this universal exchange format, which I will be able to download in the GPS. Same with the tracks. What is a track? A track, right, is nothing more than a sequence of lines. I've been clicking. So what it does is all the clicks are stored here, and it basically connects all these points which have an exact location using lines basically. So that's a trail. Right, and with this file, if I send this to anyone can load it in whatever GPS, whatever vendor of GPS they have, whatever map program they will have, they will be able to import this. So let me do a couple of things with this GPX file. One thing that I could do is, for example, I could go to Global Mapper, right? And I could import this GPX trail into this map, which will be very cool because then I will be able to see my trail on this US Army map now. So let me open this V35 GPX. Bang. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of tuning. Configure. Control center, let me know once we reach 10 minutes. So I'm gonna make it a little wider, this thing. So let me just make it like 3 pixels wide. Okay. Close. And let me zoom in a little bit. Zoom in a little more. Take the hand here. Well, so see, the line that I've drawn here now, I can actually follow my trail exactly. Side valley, I get into the valley. See, it's very precise, right? So the Americans did a nice handwork thing here. I go into the side valley. Here you can see a little bit of distance, but overall not too bad. Go back on the mainstream. I climb over. I get into this valley, right? And then I go upstream here, and then somewhere here, like the rest house. Rest house, I made a big mistake. The rest house is actually here somewhere. So here that rectangle is where this, it's almost unreadable. The JPEG resolution is not that good. So here is actually the correct location of my rest house. So once I leave the stream, I actually need to come here to find this building. So, I mean, this is another interesting thing. You can actually export your trails in that standard format and then put it on any map in any utility. Another thing that I can do with this trail that I created is I can preview it in 3D in Google Earth. So if I click on this KML file, this will take me to Google Earth, and it will basically put this trail now also on the same globe here. It will zoom in, of course, to Venkateswara automatically. Voila. So at this moment you would say, okay, no big deal, same thing as Google Maps. But the nice thing about Google Earth is that instead of looking at this map 90 degree, right, straight down, I can actually change my angle. So I can reduce the angle and start looking from a slightly lower angle. Let me put north always on top, that's always useful as a reference. So let me put the camera a little bit lower. Voila, I can see the horizon there. Let me zoom in a little bit. And now you can actually, once you start zooming in deeply, let me go to the main valley here. Voila, here is the main valley. See, I'm actually looking in 3 dimensions now, which is very cool. Let me do one thing, because I also put this US Army map on top of the same Google again. I'm gonna show that a little bit later. Let me first switch this off, not to confuse. Okay, view, sidebar. See, so perfect match, right? Let's follow the trail in 3D. So let me just change the angle a little bit here. Whoa. Voila. So I'm starting in the Talakona Valley here, right? I'm going inside the hills, following the stream. At the end of the valley, I need to climb up to the top of the falls. Here you can actually see where the Talakona waterfall stream will fall down in the valley. So I'm climbing up on this side. Then remember, I'm following the Jeep trail, which even here you can see. There is the Jeep trail going that side. There is a Jeep here on the split. We are following. It's 10 minutes. Let me save again.